We all know artificial intelligence is getting unbelievably powerful, right? It's changing, well, pretty much everything. But here's the thing. It has a hidden and pretty critical flaw. It's a problem of overconfidence, and it could have some really serious consequences. Let's dig in.
So to really get a handle on this problem, you first have to appreciate just how capable these systems have become. I mean, we are not talking about your basic chatbots anymore. Today's big AI models, the large language models, or LLMs, are so advanced that they're passing some of the toughest professional exams in the world, including medical licensing exams.
And that brings up a huge question. It's great that an AI can get the right answer most of the time, but does it know when it's wrong? Does it have any kind of self-awareness to tell us, hey, I'm not so sure about this one? Can we really trust it when the stakes are literally life and death?
Well, that's exactly what a new study in the Journal of Medical Internet Research wanted to figure out. The researchers found this dangerous confidence bug across a whole bunch of AIs. But what's really exciting is they also found a surprisingly simple way to see an AI's inner doubt, which could make it a much safer tool for all of us.
Okay, so first things first. Just how well are these models actually doing on these tests? The study put 9 different large language models through the ringer, using thousands of questions from the U.S. medical licensing exam.
And get this, the results are pretty staggering. OpenAI's newest model, GPT-4O, scored an incredible 89% on the exam. Now, that's not just a passing grade, that's performing at the same level as a highly trained human doctor.
And to put that 89% into perspective for you, the passing grade for this exam is 60%. So GPT-4O is just blowing past that. And it's not just a one-off thing either. The study found that 6 of the 9 AI models they tested were able to pass. This is a real widespread capability.
But here's where we get to the real heart of the issue. See, high scores are great, but they can give us a false sense of security. The researchers found this dangerous gap between how confident an AI says it is and how often it's actually right.
And look, this isn't just some academic worry. Even the people who make these models are telling us to be careful. This quote, "This is right from OpenAI's own website. They know these models can be confidently wrong, and that's a massive risk, especially in fields like medicine."
So here's the kicker from the study. When the researchers asked the AIs to rate their own confidence, on a scale of 0 to 100, the models almost always said they were super confident. We're talking 90 to 100%. And they did this whether their answer was right or completely, totally wrong. Now, this is where the study gets really cool. The researchers figured, okay, asking an AI how it feels about its answer, that's not reliable. So they went looking for a better way, a way to peek under the hood and measure the model's true mathematical certainty, to find its inner doubt. And they found it in something called token probabilities. Now, I know it sounds a little techy, but the idea is actually pretty simple. At its core, an AI is just predicting the next word, or token. So for a multiple choice question, it's just calculating a probability for each answer choice, A, B, C, or D. That raw probability is a direct mathematical measure of its own certainty, without any of that fake human-like bravado.
So let's just break that down. On one side, you have expressed confidence. That's what the AI tells you. It's kind of subjective, and as we've just seen, it's totally unreliable. But on the other side, you have token probability. That's what the AI's own math shows. It's an objective, raw number that comes straight from the model's calculations.
So the stage was set. The researchers decided to put these two metrics head-to-head in a showdown. Which one was the better predictor of a correct answer? Could the AI's internal math tell us the truth when its words couldn't? And wow, the results could not be clearer. Just look at these charts. Blue means a correct answer, red means incorrect. On the left, with expressed confidence, you see that red and blue are all jumbled up at the top. The AI is just always confident. But look to the right at token probability. The red is all spread out, showing much lower internal certainty for those wrong answers. It's just a way cleaner signal. This next chart, it's basically telling the same story, but for every single AI model they tested. All you really need to know here is that a higher line means a better, more reliable predictor. And for every single model, that orange line, the AI's internal math, is way higher than the gray line representing what it said its confidence was. The math wins every time. And this final chart shows us exactly why the math is so much better. That dotted line in the middle, that represents perfect, honest calibration. The gray areas, showing the AI's stated confidence, are way above that line. That's a textbook sign of overconfidence. But the orange lines, from the internal math, they hug that honest baseline much more closely. They're just a far more reliable measure of the truth.
So, okay, we've looked at a lot of charts and data, but what does this all mean for us in the real world? Well, it means we might have found a simple, built-in truthometer for AI answers, and that could totally change how we use these powerful systems.
I mean, the implications here are huge. Think about it. Instead of blindly trusting an AI's confident tone, a doctor using an AI assistant could see that the token probability for a diagnosis is, say, only 60%, and know immediately to double-check it. It gives us a simple, accessible way to flag answers that need a human expert to take a second look. This could be an absolutely critical step in cutting down the risk of harm from AI-generated misinformation.
And this really brings us to the big picture. This research doesn't solve every single problem with AI, of course not. But it does point us toward a future where we can build more trust in these systems, not by trying to make them perfect, but by giving them an honest way to tell us about their own uncertainty.
You know, I think the researchers behind the study really said it best. They basically concluded that we should just stop listening to what these chatbots say about their confidence. The key takeaway is this: we already have a better way to listen to what they truly think. By looking at these token probabilities, we can finally start to see the inner doubts of AI, and that could make it a much more reliable partner for us in medicine and far beyond.